Hey everybody, this is Steve.
And this is Parnell.
And this is Flipping and Mashing. Welcome back everybody. This is episode 29.
We're doing good. We're on a roll.
Yeah, we're actually smashing through pretty good here. We're actually sticking to a rhythm and not just going like 2-3 weeks in between.
I did just remember that we dropped the ball.
What do you mean?
Remember when we were recording in my basement, we were like, we were going to talk about a console every time.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying talking about the actual...
Like, one episode we talked about NES.
Yes.
Then the next one we talked about Sega Genesis.
Yes.
And then we never kept going.
Yeah, it was a good idea. I think we should probably even try it again.
Yeah.
All right, so go on. What's your plan?
So next episode or whatever, we'll have to come up with some stuff, and because my Excite truck is still sitting on my desk and we haven't played it yet.
I see what you're saying. You want to go back, play, because I forgot what we had discussed. You want to go back and actually play a game from an old console.
Well, not just that, but like talk about our memories. Favorite games and memories of
That's the most fun. I love talking about memories from
I got
these
a
games.
buttload of Dreamcast sitting in my basement.
Yeah.
And I had a wild ride through that. I didn't even own it until I was like 32.
Dreamcast is by far one of my favorite systems of old. This is
your mic is like
my mic is dipping down into my crotch. There we go. All right.
Wrong mouth, Steve.
Anyways,
let's kick it off then.
All right.
We got pinball stuff.
All right. So we'll start with pinball and work our way through video games. So number one, what just came in this week?
My Lissy, they call it like a LISY1 board, finally came in from Germany.
And this is for?
This is a replacement CPU board for Gottlieb System 1s.
Gotcha.
So I worked with him and created the bomb that is the quick drop for DigiKey.
Okay.
And so I ordered that. Once his board hit the US, I got a USPS notice in my email. I dropped my CSV file in DigiKey, hit order, and I added the Raspberry Pi 0W, which is what is going to drive the board. That's the brains in the operating system.
Gotcha.
And that's the smallest Pi with Wi-Fi, so we can connect to it over Wi-Fi.
Okay. Now, what would we be using the Wi-Fi for?
Like if you wanted to go into the OS and change the game.
Okay.
So you want to program your own values of targets.
Just right through your laptop.
Yep. You just connect to it wirelessly.
Nice.
Or you have to update the Pi or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a couple bucks. It was like $2 more for the Wi-Fi one from DigiKey, so I just ordered it.
We might as well. Is for only $2? Sure.
Yeah, it was a couple bucks.
Right.
And so I finally started to solder the parts on.
Yes, you got pieces all over the place over here.
Shh. Don't let our listeners know that I'm a mess. So I'm soldering this up. Steve and I both have experience with surface mount. However, this board only has one surface mount part. It's like an I2C rectifier or something. And that went on decently easy. That's probably the hardest part to solder on this board. Everything else is called through-hole, which if you're a pinball person and you have older games prior to like Spike from Stern or Medieval Madness's Beaglebone, you will know that those old boards also use mostly through-hole. They're easier to cut off parts and replace. So it's coming together pretty easily.
Yeah, I'd say.
They're not big through-hole, but they're like...
Right. It's a little bit time-consuming to put them all on, solder them all, but it looks like it's going by kind of paint by numbers pretty easily.
Yeah. I'll probably, like I was telling you before when you came in this morning, I might go through the bomb and put... He very nicely labeled every single through-hole with what is there. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go through it again and make sure that the part number is associated with the through-hole part.
Okay.
Because there was one part I got confused on, but I read the silk screening on the board and it was optional. I think it's for a sound add-on. So I'll go through that and figure that out, but I just want to make it even easier for anybody else going forward.
Okay. Sounds good.
Black Knight.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, your status of Black Knight. How's that moved along?
It's making billions of dollars at the bar.
That's awesome.
No, it's
That's
not.
awesome. You must be at a very busy bar to make billions of dollars.
I retired.
Yeah, and you must be charging like $10 a plate or something like that.
Well, it's Black Knight. It's classic.
Oh, good point. Good point.
So all my parts came in. I got like a coil sleeve set to replace all the coils. I was going through the game and I was doing the flipper rebuild kits. One of the flipper mechs is underneath the playfield. Like the upper left flipper, the mech is kind of half hidden under the lower playfield. So I have to take off the upper playfield to really get to it because I have new switches and new linkage. And then I realized my drop targets were not working right. Like they were very slow, they're very dirty, and obviously I should put all new coil sleeves in the game so that things are smooth. So then I ordered the sleeves and I ordered that's when I realized that I don't know if we talked about this already, but like the two right coils for the flippers were wrong. They were 50 volt and they're supposed to be like 26 or 28.
I guess I forgot that we talked about that.
Yeah. I ordered new flipper coils for those two. I also ordered springs for the drop targets. It might be something else. They're all of it's here. I need to start going through it. And then the pop bumper, I ordered a clear skirt, which is the ring that goes in the bottom, the ball pushes down, and it's clear red, and then a clear red body, and then the lid is red. So it's going to be a all red pop bumper, and when it's lit up, I think it'll look pretty cool.
Very cool.
So that'll be nice. So I was in the Black Knight thread on Pinside because I like to check in there, see what people are having for problems, and I can't really help much yet because I haven't really got my game up and going. But someone mentioned they call it a solenoid saver. It's this little board. It puts fuses, and the playfield solenoids plug in. Like you unplug it from the main board, you plug it into this board, and then there's a jumper that connects it.
Okay, what's the point of that?
I also asked this because if my game is going on route, I want it to be the safest it can be.
Sure.
So I don't want to have to... My boards just got fully refurbished. I do not want to have to send them back out again because then the game's down.
Right.
So what happens, I didn't fully realize this because I've never had an older Williams game. The coils are activated by switches. So if a switch is held down, the coil will just stay.
Okay.
So the problem is if the coil stays powered or energized, it overheats.
It'll melt.
And it melts like mushrooms your sleeve and then traps that linkage.
Okay.
I've had, like my black hole had one like that. A
Sure.
couple solenoids like that I had to replace. And so what this little solenoid saver does is it puts fuses in line of your solenoids going back to the main board. So if your solenoid stays energized for a few seconds or whatever, the fuse blows instead of your game board.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
And then it must be in a position that you can just open it up and flick it real quick and then...
It's like those quick blow fuses.
Oh.
Or like the glass round ones.
Gotcha.
It mounts in the head to the left of the boards, so it'll be easy peasy.
Easy to access.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Pretty excited about that. That's on its way already. That's from the same guy who made the NV RAM, where you install this chip solution and it replaces your batteries in the game for high scores and stuff.
Great.
So you can get out of that battery acid stuff.
Nice.
So he already shipped it, dropped it in the mail, I mean, and so that should be here in a couple days.
Excellent.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's very good. Very cool.
So how's your dragon? Are you making money on that baby yet?
I have not touched it since the last night. That's not true. I have personally played it.
I have as well. I flicked it on a couple of times,
Right,
walking
yeah.
through.
Yeah, I've played it a couple times, but I have not cleaned it at all or done anything
That's
else.
partially my fault. I have all the cleaning stuff. We use naphtha to clean older playfields so that you're not getting water into the wood. It's like alcohol based. And then the wax. I think I left it in my garage where I was working on the other game. So I got to bring that in so that you can clean it because you have LEDs waiting and all that. However, you also need to order your rubber kit.
I do. So I should probably do that almost like right after this because I need to order rubber kits.
Well, that's the next question. Remember you ordered clear kit for roller disco. Do you want to go white or... You gotta think about that.
Yeah, I need to almost walk back in there and stare at the...
And they also sell colored ones, but you pay for it. Like you can get colored
I'm not worried
silicone
about.
rubber.
I'm not worried about paying for the color difference. Like if it looks a lot better to me, I'd totally worth it to me to actually pay it for the color.
Oh, you're like me. Money ain't no thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not that big of a difference. I mean, maybe it's, let's say it's $20 to $40, whatever. It might be like double the price, but in reality, it's gonna make the game a lot better. So it's, to me, it's worth it. If that makes sense.
It would not be worth it if you wanted to sell it right away.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Good point.
If you hold on to it, which honestly, it seems like a fun game, and it was cheap. If you hold on to it, then colored rubbers and LEDs and all that stuff makes sense because it's like you're getting your time out of it.
I see what you're saying. Like if we wanted to just get it up and running so we can send it out again, cleaned up and looking a lot better. I don't know. I have to think about it, but I do like adding colors to.
Yeah. Well, you also talked about bringing a game to your house.
Yes.
We also talked. It came with CoinMax, so potentially you could put it on route if you wanted to.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Actually, start making some cash off of it.
I mean, you don't be like a billionaire like me with Black Knight. But
Good point. But I'll be like a half a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. But no, I haven't cleaned it up. Haven't even done anything to it. I've just only played it a couple times. I got a pretty good score on it. I was pretty proud about that. But other than that, I haven't done anything with it.
Oh my God, we have to get that battery cut off that board.
Yeah.
Like immediately, because that board is mint and
Yep.
it has the original battery.
Good point.
I'll look that up and maybe we can print that how-to out off the pin wiki.
Let's do that.
And get the new batteries mounted. We
Let's
either
do
do
that.
like I don't think they do the NVRAM for the System 1, but we can do like a remote battery pack, like what they did in Roller Disco.
One thing I need to do is I just need to set aside some time that I can actually do some of this stuff. And I haven't been setting it. It's been like a secondary priority, so it's never gotten to.
Me too. Like, you come to work, you work, and then
Right.
all of a sudden you go home, and home is 20, 30 minutes away, so you don't want to come back here.
Right.
But then you have responsibilities. Being an adult sucks.
Right. I think I'm gonna just try to maybe have somebody help watch the boys, and then I can come in and do something with it. Because if I try to bring them with me, I will never get anything. I won't get anything
Gus the
done.
one time. My dog. I
Mhm.
brought my dog, and I worked on my game Black Knight for a little bit. That was when I was doing the Coil Max or the Flipper Max.
Mhm.
And he was super. He's a lab. He is 3, so he's a bunch of energy still. But I had some bones with, and just like, hey, dude, we already went to the dog park.
Mhm.
You just gotta lay down. He's
Mhm.
really bad at being bored. I brought him into work. He's horrible at it.
Mhm.
I almost brought him today, but I wanted to do this. And he kept making laps around and whining at me, and finally he laid down and chewed a bone, and then he kind of just hung out. Took about 30 minutes though.
But he finally calmed down. And
Yeah. So I gotta take him out here more, and I can work on my games. But again, I also have to have like my wife. We kind of give each other days off. Like tonight, she's gone for the evening with her family, and so I got the baby. So we're gonna have to do something.
There you go.
And then usually Thursday nights are my pinball night, but like you gotta kind of plan ahead. I don't know. It kind of sucks.
Right. We
It's just a lot of work.
it's just all it takes. I just have to set aside some time and actually get it done. The next on the pinball docket is something that I'm pretty excited to talk about.
This was out of freaking nowhere.
Right. So there's a newer game that isn't even for sale yet, but it's just come out. It's kind of hit the internet, and everyone's talking about it, called Tokyo Perfect Drift.
Just dropped.
Right.
This was like the best kept secret.
It looks really fun. It looks really colorful. It's a single level map. as if this is a video game. It's a single level game. It's got very flowy lines to it. It looks really cool. Like, so it's big. It almost looks like ramps because of the way it funnels the ball.
Yeah, the orbits.
Right, but they're not ramps, obviously, because they don't lift up off the ground. But the way they treat them like they're ramps.
God,
The artwork is very cool.
That looks like a GTR, and that looks like a GTR.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what they're supposed to be.
So this is for the background. This is from the same company that did the Captain Nemo game, which was kind of like this. I think it was a V-pin, and then they made it real, or they've always teased it. And I don't know if it ever even came out, or if they're still waiting.
The Captain Nemo game?
Yeah. It's been years.
The artwork. Okay, you're flashing through some pictures here. We're gonna put all this up on our Facebook
That is totally
page.
GTR.
The artwork is really cool. It is definitely. You can tell they're trying to be like what was the
80s,
Fast and Furious game?
It's an 80s Fast and Furious.
Right.
So it says it's from Spanish producers Quizdal Pinball Quitzal? I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
And STR Pinball. It's was previewed at a museum in Spain. Single level 4 flipper with 5 balls. It doesn't mean it's a 5-ball game. It just means you could have a 5-ball multi-ball.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Custom electronics and full RGB. From this, it has an almost looks like a 10-inch LCD screen.
It's a big screen compared to the actual playfield.
The only thing I could think of, Captain Nemo Dives Again was their first. And it sounds like the only people allowed to buy this in the U.S. are the people who had purchased Captain Nemo.
Interesting.
So, because
So they're not
it's
looking
not
to-
released yet.
so
I
they're
think
not-
they're trying to like give you this game first so they can make money to finish Captain Nemo. And I could be wrong, but I haven't seen that game yet. So I think it's still in production.
Captain Nemo?
Yeah, I think it's still.
So what's
trying
the
to be
deal with
made.
Captain Nemo? Because I mean, so if they're already going to make this and ship this out, is Captain Nemo like a triple level game or something like that? And they need like, a lot
It's
more
been
funding.
so many years that I stopped looking into it.
Interesting. Or maybe because people paid for Captain Nemo, like they're using this as like a consolidation prize almost.
I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's one of those. Hey, you can have this game. Like, while we're still working on the other game.
Okay.
You can have this game. You can buy this game as a. It's limited, so only you guys can buy it in the U.S.
Wow. So you just pulled up Captain Nemo. I've never seen this game before. This looks pretty cool. Now, as far as you know, this has never made it to market.
No, there was a prototype, and I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen the prototype and some videos.
Right. So that's a good point. I mean, at least one exists somewhere because there's videos out on it.
Yeah.
It's very cool art for the Captain Nemo. It's like they definitely got some A+ artists to come in here and draw.
It looks great. People were really excited about it, and then it just kind of stopped being updated. And there's an LCD screen, I think, under the playfield in the middle. There's
Okay,
ramps.
so
it should be pretty sweet.
looking at the Captain Nemo game, I can see maybe if you were a startup why this might be hard to get funding for because there's a lot of stuff going on here. You got a couple ramps, an LCD screen in the playfield, very colorful, but you got a lot of stuff going on this playfield.
Yeah, and if people have noticed over the course of the last couple of years, like making pinball is freaking hard, and so to get this
To work properly?
to work and to have the capital to make it, because most people nowadays aren't trying to sell it pre-ordered to fund it because people are getting sketched out by that,
Sure.
which obviously it's people are getting effed over pretty bad.
Right.
So you kind of have to raise your own funding, and that's hard. And so it is neat to see them, if they have this Tokyo Perfect Drift ready to go, you have a couple hundred units, sell it, use that profit.
But how
in
would
the
they get
correct way.
funding for Tokyo Drift?
Well,
if
it's
they
a
didn't-
single level. It's a lot more simple, less mechs, all that stuff. So like,
Good point.
Also, what they're learning from making Tokyo Perfect Drift, because it said custom boards and light boards, they might drop that into their other game. So now they've learned something. Captain Nemo, if you look at the playfield, it's a very ambitious project.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, you almost should start at a single level game to get a feel for it and what you need.
Which is
And
maybe
then
what
move to
happened.
The big dogs.
Yeah,
of
they had to revert
ramps
and slow down for a second. Either way, this other game, it's not knocking Tokyo Perfect Drift. It still looks like a totally fun game. Looks very fast-paced with a lot of motion because with the big, huge loops in there, it looks like the ball's always going to be flying around.
Oh, it's got like the left upper flipper looks like it can hit an orbit shot.
Oh,
and
that's
keep
right.
Flipping around, similar to Getaway or Star Trek. I mean, it doesn't jump up a ramp, but
Or a game called Tron.
Oh shit.
that was my immediate thought was, oh, it's just like Tron.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's a upper mini flipper that kind of just shoots at targets.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of my head, I was like thinking of cool designs and mechs and stuff to build my own games.
Mm-hmm.
And this has some really cool shots and features in the playfield that will make it looks really fun.
Right. Is theoretically, if you strip everything down, it looks pretty simple by design, but it looks like really fun game.
Yeah, as long as the rules are there, I think the shots are really nice. It's going to be fun. And we'll see if what they call the upper playfield, if that upper little section, because it spells drift, and we'll see if that maybe is too clunky, because that's going to be the only big spot that really blocks you and slows you down. Like if you're shooting it from the mini flipper up to drift, if that just makes it chunky.
Too hard?
Well, all the other shots are super flowy, and these aren't drop targets, so it might just be the ball screaming back, and it might be just super clunk. Like you're flowing, and then you just hit clunk fest.
Okay, no, I can see what you're saying, because the whole rest of the whole playfield is like a highway practically,
yeah.
And then right here, right in the middle, you have you're attacking these. So they're not drop targets. I guess I thought they were drop targets. They're not, huh?
I don't see them as drop targets. Nope, they are standard targets.
Right.
There's not even a drop on here. I think it would have been kind of fun. Like, look at this. You have a drop target here, but and then you sneak the ball in.
That's less to break.
Drop targets don't really break.
Okay.
I mean, the new ones.
Mine broke. So I guess
yours broke.
Yeah, on
on
Roller Disco.
But it was the coil mecha. It wasn't like the target itself didn't break.
Right. I guess I wasn't really referring to the actual targets. I meant the function. The function of them.
Yeah.
Kind of like flip up headlights for a Firebird or something like that. It's one more thing to break.
I mean, it's going to be really hard to get into the pops, honestly, unless you go.
It's going to be no.
Unless you go into the orbit and the ball.
There's only one
in.
way to really get there, because you can technically shoot up the center, but that's going to be impossible. It's not even worth trying.
It's going to be hitting Gemma and Tron.
Trying to do what?
Hitting Gemma and Tron. That shot. That's a very hard, tight shot.
I guess I don't even know where she is.
Why would you even pay attention?
but when it comes to the pops, the easiest way to get to them is just to run up the. What do you call them? The big
orbits?
The orbits. That's just the
and drop it from the top.
100%.
Yeah.
Because to go up the middle is going to be.
And it's only 2 pops. So I wonder how much it'll be in the pops. I don't know. I'm really excited. The hard part.
Well, it's like it's almost trapped in there. If it goes up there and hits those pops, I feel like it's going to bounce around like the son of a gun, and then maybe slowly come out.
We'll see. Because it'll pop off the one pop and hit posts and maybe some bands, but it's not going to pop between the two a whole lot.
Well, I get that, but I think it's going to bang off of the post, and you just keep coming back at it.
Yeah,
no,
that's why they put 3 to really so the ball will slink like Ghostbusters. When I first opened that game and played, the ball just sat up there, and it felt like a minute. Just sat there.
I love poppers so much. Because I feel like I'm making 1,000,000 points every single time it's up there, and I smile to myself like inside, like I'm doing so good right now, even though all it's doing is giving like 1 point per pop.
You would like AC/DC because you like the animation in the back is this car bouncing around, and then you get similar to Medieval Madness, you get like your multipliers and like a kind of like not a mode, but a feature gets upgraded every time it hits X pops, like 20 pops. And you get like an upgraded feature.
Speaking of cars, does Street Fighter have a pinball machine?
Yes.
Do they? And do they have the smashing the car feature in there? Very cool. Very cool.
Do we need to sell your games and get that game?
Maybe.
I mean, how big are you into Street Fighter?
I'm not really. I'm not really.
Let's not.
But when you brought up the car like rattling around, my very first thought was them in Street Fighter smashing that car.
Yeah, no, they have a Street Fighter 2 pinball machine.
That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, I like Street Fighter, but it's not one of my top games. I enjoy it. For a second, I tried to get into it, and that's when I decided that I'm not big into Street Fighter.
Oof, yeah, it's rough. I'm just not good at it. I like fighting games, but
it's a lot different paced than games that I really enjoy, like Mortal Kombat. I enjoy Mortal Kombat significantly more than I do or the pacing of Mortal Kombat. Because like, what's the other game? Immortals. It's all made by the same guys, so it's all the same kind of thing. So that versus the pace of Street Fighter, I'm not into that pace.
The hard part is there's now multiple versions of Street Fighter, like Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Collector's or whatever, Special Edition. And so like they sped up movement. So now it's super fast in like the Turbo version. I can't keep up with that crap.
No.
It's almost as fast as Blaze Blue, or maybe it's faster. And Blaze Blue is just super nutty combo. Like, I guess it's huge in Japan.
Right, and the whole Capcom versus
SNK.
Yeah, it's just it's insane.
Yeah,
like trying to watch those guys fight each other. It's just a blur of light.
Yeah, I'm slow. I think the only downside to this game is that it's 5,000 US,
which is a lot. It's a lot for a single level game,
plus tax and shipping.
Is it coming from Spain?
I think so.
So that's gonna be what, another $1,000?
Depends if they can get like a distributor to kind of take all the games.
Sure.
Like have them all come to, like, for instance, Cointaker did Alien. So you work with one distributor, they get bulk games over.
So maybe this is better for our European listeners. For those who are over in the UK and stuff like that, maybe this is, well, even them. You're still shipping across water and everything else.
It depends in Europe where you are.
Yeah. Either way, it'd be easier than shipping it to the U.S.
I think it's awesome, though.
It's very cool. I mean, to look at is fun. To get it over here and actually play it is going to be something else. But agreed, like it's color. The color is amazing. The art's very cool, and it looks. I really want to play it. I wish it was here.
Play it too. I love Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious is my favorite Fast and Furious movie.
I did not know that.
Back in college, I almost bought a Mustang to use as a drift car.
Really?
And then I stayed on the track stuff. So I've done some track, autocross, hill climb stuff, and I've never ventured. But now, I mean, I have the RS, so I can push the drift button, and I get drift mode. Does that count?
I mean, it does if you want to actually drift and burn off your wheels and pay for those all the time.
No, I make sure to find a snow-filled empty space.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
in that case, we're all drifters here in Minnesota.
We're all drifters.
Because every single time it snows, I think half of the people in Minnesota like sliding into the corner.
Yeah, it's bad. And speaking of the Eclectic Gamers, their episode 47, they were talking about street-level games, and Tony and Dennis were talking about
single level.
Yeah, they call it street level, single level. They were talking about, do you think it is a viable product now? And they both, I think, agreed that it's a novelty, but if you released them infrequently, people would like it. Hence TNA. Total Nuclear Annihilation came out at the exact time that was ripe. But if Scott Danesi keeps releasing single level games, I think the market's burned out on it. Like, you can't ask $6,000 for a single level game, and keep selling at 550 units.
Well, there's this very special thing about Total Nuclear Annihilation. It had a lot to do with how much light was on that game and how amazing the music was. So they were able to basically pull you in with something that the rest of these games aren't doing as effectively.
But that's what I mean. Like, the market was ripe for it.
Okay.
But if every manufacturer starts making single level and they're doing something similar, it's not unique anymore, right? I mean, Scott's next game is going to be unique, but it's going to get flooded with that style of game, and then
everyone's going to want to stop looking at them. Yeah,
you're going to want to stop. I'm sick of single level. I want my multiplayer fields. I want ramps everywhere.
There needs to be almost like one single level for every 3 ramped style games.
Exactly. So their thing was, maybe once a year, drop a street level or a single level game as like this nice novelty, and just knowing that you won't sell as many.
Sure.
But
it's also going to be cheaper for you and a lot less of a hassle.
Yeah. So my thing is, how cheap is it to actually make? Like, if I designed one and I went to Spooky or Stern or whatever, I mean, how much is it actually going to cost to make?
Well, you need an artist.
No, I'll do that. People love finger drawing.
That's
finger
true.
painting.
I mean, your abstract art is insane. So,
but you have an artist. You have to get an art, which that's a handful of thousands of dollars, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, what is the actual cost to make a game? And I know it goes down the more you make. But if you planned like 200 games, is that going to be $3,000?
For one, you have to plan for the first one. You still have to make the first one. I mean, you can plan in advance for 300, but you have to even come up with the concept of the first one. So that first one, the prototype, is going to cost several $1,000s.
Yeah, it would be like a $5,000 game.
Right.
And then
after that, you can figure out how to mass produce it.
But my thing is, and I know it's going to be difficult because manufacturing in the U.S. is not cheap. But how do you, if you could come up with a game for $3,000, that would be killer.
Does Spooky ever talk about this on their podcast?
No.
They probably don't want to talk about it.
And the hard parts you have are, it costs a bunch to make any game. Scott Denise's game is $6,000, but that had a crap load of coils, it had a crap load of RGB lights, so you cut all that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
You have, let's just say you take a game like a Stern Classic from Stern Electronics or your Dragon. I mean, you add pops, you have spinners and drop targets, but like you keep it very simple.
Sure.
Can you keep a game well under $4? Because Stern Pinball releases a pro game for $5,000. Well, their old pros, like my Metallica, was low 4,000s.
Mm-hmm.
So why can the street level, single level game not be under $4,000?
That's a very good point. No, I think that it should be.
I mean, if
in my as a consumer,
what if Stern did this?
Be.
What if they said, we'll release one street level game a year,
mm-hmm.
and we will make sure not to make that much money on it, because all of our profits are from these big games. So we'll try to make a single level game. We'll take less profit so we can sell it cheaper and get it out there. I mean, I don't think they're gonna.
That's not how people think, though. No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, there's different movie studios out there who will push out a very artistic movie that they know will not make a lot of money versus like a big blockbuster action film, but they will use a lot of the money from the big action film to fund a lesser, more artistic movie. But I guess the matter is how much of an artist they are. As an artist, if they want this machine out there, that's different. Because then they personally, it's a thing to them. They want to produce something that's a little more simplistic. So just for the sake of their creativity, to be able to get it out there, they'll use maybe these big high rollers to help cushion the impact of maybe a lesser successful game.
And that's the thing. You don't need to lose money on it.
I'm not saying they're losing money.
No, but like
right.
That's what I'm saying. Is like you just take less profit off of it, so you can get it to a cheaper point. So you can get to that $300 to $3,500 price range, where you'll sell a lot more games because. Oh,
you're still saying still make the same amount of money overall in the end, because you will sell more units.
No, you just and that might be the case, but see, that's the thing is that new in-box games in the U.S. are now at a base level of whatever 5-some thousand. I think Stern's MSRP is $59, but they sell from a distributor for the $52 to $5,500. That's the cheapest game in the U.S. right now. That's nuts.
It is nuts. And again, I agree with you completely. As a consumer, to me, a street level game, a single level game, should not cost
why would I
$5,000.
$5,000 for Tokyo Perfect Drift when I could buy Guardians of the Galaxy for the same?
Right. I wouldn't.
It sucks. But it's the cost of manufacturing a small amount.
But again, okay, just like we had said about the complexity of this game is significantly less complex than, like, let's say, now this is an older game, but Batman Forever is significantly, by far, more complex than this game.
Yeah.
You got shit all over the place. Like, this game doesn't even have drop targets.
Nope.
It should. I get trying to make money.
I mean, the bomb has to be well under $2,000.
They're talking 5,000. That's not even $5,000. It's 5,000 pounds, isn't it?
No, it's
euros.
It says the initial price is 4,395 euros, and then in parentheses or quotes or whatever, $5,000 / €3,940.
Gotcha.
Plus tax, plus shipping.
Right, which is, again, for a U.S. Consumer is going to be probably about $6,000 when you're done.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And
$6,000 for a U.S. consumer to buy that, even though it looks cool, maybe they're big into drifting and they're big into cars, $6,000 is too much money.
It's a bunch of money.
You have to wait till that thing starts coming down, like after people have already bought it, after people have already played it.
Yeah, you get it used.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's similar to Whoa Nelly Big Juicy Melons. That's an EM-like looking game.
Correct.
I thought it was going to come out at $3,500. I was excited because the potential for Stern to start making classics was exciting to me.
I think
because you think they were going to be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it's an older kind of game, has to be cheaper. Has to be. Nope, came out like $5,000.
$3,500, I think, is a good price. Obviously they're not doing it, but I think $3,500 is a good price for a street level game. Now, if I was Stern or if I was Spooky, maybe I could respond to some of these things like, no. In the end, I still have to pay my guys, and I need to produce a game that costs $5,000.
I'm wondering if Spooky could make this Tokyo game for under $4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that they can, because a much more complex game costs $5,000. So why does this also cost $5,000?
I wonder if
believe
it's
fully
like
that you can make it cheaper.
They're adding in the R&D for the boards that they created. Like, why do that? Why make your own board set when one already exists? That's a huge cost, making your own boards.
Yep.
P-Rock is already there. You have all these light boards that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
Light sockets. I mean, you don't have to spend a fuckload of money to build a game.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're designing their own boards, that's a ton of money, and they're passing it on to the customer. But P-Rock already existed. But if they're in Spain and P-Rock's in the U.S., that's another, because we ship electronics, and that's a big pain in the ass on, because you ship them over, then the person in the foreign country has to pay to pick them up, like another tax.
Oh yeah.
So we're
learning that all right now ourselves, but because we've been shipping a lot of stuff and we're figuring out. Oh geez.
Yeah, you're getting double dipped on.
Yep.
Which is understandable that you don't want to have to import, and then you're importing it, building your game, then exporting it back out.
Yeah. The price starts jumping pretty quick.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's something to think about.
Either way, if it means anything, this game is really cool to look at.
Oh my god! it better be at a show.
That's why I really do. I want to play it. I wish it was here. So we'll be posting up. Actually, I already have. I've already posted this.
Because I commented on it.
This is on our Facebook page right now.
But maybe we can pull. I don't know if you have this news article. Maybe you did.
I think it's this one specifically. If it's not this one, I can find this one.
It has a lot of pictures.
Put it up there.
It lists the goals. And then you do races by hitting shots. You spell fuel, you spell burnout, tires, and all that stuff. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. What is next on our docket?
Video games.
Video games. Moving into video game section.
Guess what?
I already cracked mine. Why don't you crack yours?
I got a Red Bull Pac-Man. So I need to add my little number under the tab to my game.
To your mobile game? See what you get out of it? I have also Red Bull, but I have the Winter Edition, which isn't bad. It's not as good as I wanted it to be.
Plum flavored.
Yeah.
Is it kind of weird?
It's not too weird. You want to taste it? I have AIDS.
Well, that doesn't transfer by mouth stuff. That's not too bad. It tastes like winter.
I have no response to that. This is
funny. I went to my sister's house the other weekend, and her husband Nick, who is a listener at some points in time, he had a white Red Bull can of it was like coconut Red Bull.
I like that one.
You're weird too. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know.
That's their summer edition.
That's their summer edition.
I swear to you. I'm pretty sure it is. Did he just have it?
Yeah, it was just sitting on the floor. I mean, it wasn't opened yet.
I think that's their summer can. So, anyways, this is their winter can.
Wow, Nick, you just drank an old Red Bull, huh?
I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I remember they had a cool... Whatever their summer can was, I thought it was bomb. I liked it a lot. Anyways, okay. We're not sponsored by Red Bull yet. So, we'll move on. Move on.
So, the Nintendo eShop on the Switch had a sale.
Okay.
And
You bought all the games. Wow, well, congratulations. I mean, I'll inform your wife that you guys no longer have any money.
I already they had, maybe it was like 20% to 50% off a bunch of games.
Uh-huh.
And like a handful of them.
It was a lot. There was a lot of great prices in there.
Yeah.
I
like
held
Diablo was in. I'm like, well, I already have Diablo.
Right.
Starlink is on there. That's pretty cheap.
You guys all should have bought it.
But I don't want a digital. I want the ship and stuff.
I know. So that's why I didn't. I mean, so for instance, like right now, I'm playing Starlink a lot, and there's different ships that I want, and I can buy them. Like they always advertise, like, just buy it right now. You can have it right now, which is like their, I guess, mobile game like mentality, where just buy right now, and you can have it.
Just digital.
Yeah, but it's like I want the physical one. I don't want to pay this. It's the same price tag.
Oh my god.
I might as well go buy the physical
yeah,
one.
no crap.
So, anyways, all right, go on.
So I was flipping through, and a handful of people on Reddit, a handful of people on the Switch thread on Pinside, all talked about Yoku's Island Express. It's a pinball like. How do I describe it to you? It's like a pinball side-scrolling puzzle platformer.
How is it pinballish?
You literally play fucking pinball.
Now I'm very confused. Okay.
I actually brought it.
So you
Okay, so
is that a side game in the game?
no, man. It's like half the game is playing pinball.
Okay.
So you're this little bug, and you have this big ball that you're like tied to,
Okay.
like some string, but it never gets caught. I don't know.
Sure. But
So-
that's fine.
So the bug pushes the ball around wherever you go. That's
Okay.
how you move. Is you push this ball around.
Almost like a dung beetle.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
So you like show up at this island, and the postmaster, like the USPS person, he goes like, "Well, welcome to the island. I'm retiring. You're the new postmaster. Peace out," and he just flies away.
Okay.
Everybody's kind of animals.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, you're the postmaster, and you're just pushing this ball around this island.
What are you pushing the ball around for?
I don't know, because it's your ball.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Go on.
So you start learning about the island's history through new people you meet and areas. There's the island's kind of covered in a cloud, and the more you explore, it opens up, and then you meet people, and they tell you, "Oh, well, if you want to help me, please go over here." And the map like just drops this icon up in this cloud, and you're like, "Okay, well, I gotta go find out how to get there."
Sure.
So to work your way up the platform, like up the map, you play pinball to like shoot your guy up.
So you're playing literally vertically up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got it for $9.99.
So when you say it's like pinball, is it like pinball or is it pinball?
That's the thing. You don't just like you don't play a game. There's parts where you jump in and you either flip a bumper or a flipper and you shoot yourself up and you're done. That was the pinball part. There's other parts where you will battle a boss.
I've seen this trailer.
Yeah. You battle
Yeah.
a boss, and
I
it's
think I ran
full
across it
pinball
on something.
for 10 minutes.
Huh.
And if you drain, you hit these spikes, and then you can shoot yourself back in, but you hit the spikes too many times,
Obviously,
and you died. There's so much to the game. You can beat the story and be 50% complete. There's so many side missions. So what happened when I would go meet a new person, and they were like, "Hey, can you go help me do this?" I didn't realize that wasn't part of the main mission.
Oh.
So I'm just doing all these side missions.
So it's almost like Skyrim or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you're doing all these side missions and stuff. Okay.
And I'm maybe like 70% through the game, and I beat it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going back because there's a bunch of crap I missed.
So you wait, time out. Hold up. Everybody stop. Are you saying that you beat a game?
I got the scrolling credits, so I had to have beat the game.
Wow. Congratulations.
My first game in like 20 years.
Yeah, this is a big moment. So good job.
Let's take a moment of silence to congratulate me.
Yeah, good job. If I would have known, I would have brought confetti or something. Good job. Good job.
It was weird. I thought it was battling the last boss,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was.
Sure.
It wasn't a hard game, but it wasn't.
How much time did you put into this to get through the story?
I have no idea now.
Okay.
So what would happen would be I would spend a couple hours here or 30 minutes there,
Which is the good thing about the Switch.
Yeah, I kind of powered through on a weekend, most of the game. And then I'd play a little bit kind of after my kid went down to bed. And all of a sudden I beat it Sunday morning or whatever.
So it took you about a week?
No, took me 5 days of casual playing.
That's fine.
But like I said, I didn't complete it. So now I'm going back because they have... God, this feels like Donkey Kong. There's these random torches throughout the game. And if you collect, like... have you played Zelda on the Switch? There's those little Karako seeds.
I have not, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you find those seeds. So there's those little guys all throughout the game. So you find all those, and you're able to... Every torch is like 10 of those guys. So you have to go find 10 and then light a torch. And then when you light that, this new animal comes out. So I haven't done that.
No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's kind of a similar thing with like a lot of games where you can beat the story, but to 100% it, you have to go back and find all the little things. I mean, like they have that in the Jack and Daxter series, for instance. And you can beat the mission or beat the story, which is the main priority. But for those who want to, I guess, have that extra, one, continue to play the game because you really like it, but to also have that extra like accomplishment feeling, you can go back through all the levels and try to find those orbs hidden throughout the level and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's even... So as a postmaster, you can't become the master postmaster without delivering these 3 packages to these people around the map that you kind of don't know where they are.
Sure.
So I've delivered 2 of them. I got to go find the 3rd one, and then I can be the master postmaster. I mean, so there's so many cool little... Even if the game only took 4 hours to beat, there's over 4 hours of extra content to find, which is what I really like.
So does it flow seamlessly in from like when you're like rolling the ball around, like walking around on like level ground, to when you are in like pinball mode? Is it pretty seamless? Like you're just kind of popping up into, or is it always side scrolling?
It's everything's always side scrolling or up scrolling. Like it plays like Super Mario.
All right. Well, then that helps keep it simple. In my head, I was picturing like you were like third person view or something like that.
Oh,
so side scrolling, that makes it a lot simpler. So
it is completely seamless. Like you just
gotcha.
The only part I did not like about the game was that when you are told to go to which is the last boss, I forgot his name, it's like Zeke or whatever, you have no idea how to get there. There is no description. Most of the time you have to go somewhere, you kind of have an idea on how to get there.
Okay.
This one, it was... And I Googled it because I couldn't find out how to get down to this, like, the lowest level spot on the game.
Oh, hold on. Time out. But this is kind of open world, yet side-scrolling?
Yeah, and you're forced, like, to get to the mountain. You can take a few ways to get up there, but you can only go a few ways. Like, you can't go up every
This is a very ambitious and...
You should play it. Well, shit.
I really should.
I brought it. You have to use my Switch.
Oh, because it's digital.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, so couldn't find out how to get down there. I went to the lower levels multiple times. I couldn't figure out how to get down there. I Googled it. A ton of people had the same problem. Finally, I watched some how to, like, maybe more of like a level playthrough. And I finally found the most random spot where you don't just go down there. You have to find these little kind of... There's like these certain creatures that are kind of like, I don't know what you call them. They're like dark beasts. And you go find them, and then one guy brings you to a spot that he creates a bumper and shoots you up in and then you fall into this new zone.
So they made this last boss way too hard to find.
Yeah.
Interesting. But the rest of the game is pretty easy to go throughout it.
Yeah,
find it.
When you first start playing, it's very confusing, right? Because you're new to the world, you're new to how to move around, and
sure,
like which way up do I take to get to this section?
Okay.
Once you the only good thing is when you're going back and forth, because you're moving throughout the map multiple times over and over again to deliver a package or to unlock a new area or go back to an area to get something. It doesn't feel that grindy unless you don't really know what you're doing. So in the early stage movement, it feels a little grindy, but it's not that bad. And really, it is, you're exploring, and you forget where you're going.
Okay.
And so you're playing the same stuff over and over because you forgot where you're going. You're just exploring around, trying to find these little secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll fall off something, drop down, have to get back up. That was another annoying part. Was like you're shooting yourself via pinball up a big open space, and you're trying to get to a secret spot, and you keep falling off, and then you drop down and have to get back up. But it's more of my fault than the game. But
we'll have to put links to this game on our Facebook page so that the listeners can see it.
If you're into pinball, if you're into side-scrolling or puzzles, fantastic game, and it was $9.99. It was totally worth the price. I would love a sequel.
Very cool.
Super creative. Like I said, it wasn't really a long game, but to complete it, it's going to take me a while.
Sure.
But I think it'll be worth it. I like it.
Well, especially for $10. Good job. Good find.
What have you been hacking away at?
Kind of my the games I've been playing a lot recently have been still mainly on the Switch, which is Star Fox, Warframe.
That's not Star Fox, homie.
Oh, fine. Starlink. But I always play as Star Fox, so to me it's Star Fox. so Starlink, Warframe, and what's the other one I'm playing?
Destiny 2.
Well, Destiny 2 is the Xbox game I've been trying to get back into. So I played quite a bit last night with my brother because they have this whole winter thing going on now. And I wanted to get into this because these are some of my favorite events. Because these winter events have all this really cool, like Christmassy, well, it's not even Christmassy, just a wintry armor.
Yeah, they theme it.
Right.
They do a pretty good job of that. Like at Halloween, they'll have you trick-or-treat to all the people around the town.
Yep. And this whole Christmas event that they got going on right now, they have some really cool vehicles. They have this awesome sleigh. I posted it on our Facebook page. They got just tons of cool gear and cool armor that the collector in me just wants to get in there and start gobbling it all up. But I haven't played Destiny very actively.
So are you like really far behind, or you leveled up pretty good?
Well, it's a lot easier to level up now because I'm so far behind that there's a lot of great gear out there.
Because you're playing with way leveled up people.
Well, yeah. Well,
so
for one...
So they kind of carry you into like how you did it for me on Destiny 1.
Well, I'm also in a clan, okay?
Ooh, so fancy. Are you the leader?
No.
Are you going to kick people down a hole like in 300?
No. But in this clan, we have a lot of friends in there. My brother and my sister-in-law, I think they kind of, by de facto, they ended up leading the clan because everyone else kind of just fell off during the middle.
God, it's like a family clan now. Now this feels like the movie or the TV show Vikings or Game of Thrones.
Well, speaking of Vikings, one of the main characters or one of the main people in this is Koi. Koi plays a lot, and he's maxed out. And
is that because he buys loot crates?
I don't think he buys anything, but I would not be surprised if he buys everything. So I mean, I don't know. I think he grinds for it all. But Koi, he and the rest of them, since they all play this quite a bit, as a clan, you get a bunch of stuff.
It's just because you're in a clan.
Yeah.
So
I just went to like our little place where you get all your clan gear, and I went from like level 423 and shot all the way up to over 500 by just walking in there and gathering up all the stuff that they were winning for me. I barely had to do anything. So that made it a lot easier to elevate my level quite a bit, is they, as a clan, were helping me by just getting us as a whole entire team stuff. But then I'm playing on levels that, I don't know. Yeah, I'm playing with like my brother, so we can defeat people pretty quickly, and then they dump gear on us, and I'm such a low level that he's grinding to get like 1 point, one level higher, whereas to me, that one level higher is like a 26 equivalent. You know what I mean? So I'm flying through levels versus him trying to grind through the last couple. But anyways, with that said, they have added so much more content, and I don't just mean gear. I mean like the way they do things, the way that they forge weapons and stuff like that. Like I had to ask over and over and over again how to do everything, and also
Did they get sick of you?
No, I mean my brother's pretty easygoing, so he he flowed with it. He was pretty cool about it. But anyways, I essentially was like a noob all over again when it came to this game. It was like, for instance, when I play Warframe.
Okay, hang on. Destiny 2, has it had DLC that you haven't played yet? Or is it you started the DLC but you haven't finished it? So you have a bunch of new content.
I have a ton of content.
Is there a new planet yet?
There is a new area that I'm currently playing in.
Okay, because like
that's huge.
I've played Destiny 2.
A lot bigger than I thought it was.
And I haven't beat. Maybe I did beat it. I did beat Destiny 2.
It's a great story.
I think with your help. But I have not purchased any of the DLC.
Well, at this point, you can purchase it all for probably next to nothing.
But how many is there so far? Is there two DLCs? Because I heard there's another one coming.
Okay, well, so if you want to call it a DLC, they just released it, I think, this last Tuesday or very recently. If it wasn't this last Tuesday, it was the Tuesday before. And of course, it also matters when you're listening to this podcast in the first place. But it is called the Black Armory. The Black Armory is more like a season in Fortnite or in Paladins or something like that. So it's technically new content, and some people might call it. You cannot call it DLC.
Is it free?
It's free.
Oh, so it's just a theme pack for the month or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, that's cool.
So what they're doing is they're doing these seasons like Fortnite has done or Paladins has done. Now, in Fortnite and Paladins, you pay for them.
What do you mean?
Well, some stuff changes and you get that for free, but for like this, like, I forget what they call them, but there's a whole bunch of content in it, and you have to purchase that like pack, and you earn it all within that season. And if you don't complete it all within that season, it's lost. So I've never done it based on that alone, because I know how much time I had.
They still had the free play, and you're still in the season.
Which you get way less content.
But if you pay this pack
for like $10,
you get a lot of ability to unlock stuff and like get weapons and armors and whatever else.
But it's not. But you don't get it all. You have to earn it all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, right. So you work up, and if you don't complete the earning of it, you lose it.
I think they call them battle passes. Now that I'm thinking about it,
well, that just keep. I don't
and
think
they call this a battle pass, but I don't think you have to purchase anything. At least I haven't purchased anything, and I'm playing all the same stuff. So maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have access to some stuff that is going on, but I so far have not even noticed that.
Well, I don't like Fortnite for a handful of reasons, but like at least I don't think that's that cheap. I mean, it sounds cheap on paper, but at the same time, it's like you paid to do that, and you know the consequences of not completing it.
Correct.
And it's keeping you playing. It's keeping it fresh. It's keeping you to complete something.
It's for people who really enjoy this game a lot, and maybe $10 for let's say it's a quarter of a year or something like that.
I mean, think about it. Free play for $10 a month or whatever they do, right? Like a season. Let's just say a season's a month.
But it's not even a month. It's more than a month.
No, I know, but like
sure.
$10 and for a free play game, and you're putting that many hours in to complete that.
And there's a ton of content in there. You're going to be getting
all worth well more than $10.
Yes, for sure it is.
Given you're going to keep paying money in, but at the same time, your cost per hour of entertainment,
right?
That's a really good deal.
And that's what it always comes down to. Anyone who wants to say, when it comes to any game or any, I guess, form of entertainment, is if you look at it like, well, that's a waste of money, so I have to pay for that. And it's like, well, is it worth it to you? If it's not, then don't pay it. I'm not asking you to pay it. This is a completely free-to-play game.
Yeah.
You can stand here and play along with the rest of us. But if you want this extra cool stuff, then you have to pony up some money. And if it's a big deal to you, like if you really want it, then yeah, pay for it. It's not. I'm not making you pay. Same with like these other like Shadowgun Legends, which is a mobile game I play quite a bit. I see these people run around with this really cool armor, and I want it. But since it's a mobile game, and they mobile games in general push a lot more to buy stuff because it's all free to play. I'm still playing the game. Just like in Fortnite, I'm still playing the game, having a great time. I just don't have all maybe this fancy samurai armor or something like that. It's still cool, love it to death, but I don't need to pay the extra amount because I don't play it enough for it's worth it to me. I would rather buy something for Destiny. Destiny, even though I know it sounds almost oxymoronic because I'm not playing Destiny all the time. Destiny to me is a bigger deal. I would much rather put the money into that or in like Halo or in something like that. If a new whole game comes out, I'd rather slap down $60 for it. Or for instance, I just bought the full game of Kirby not that long ago for Easton, because he loves the demo a lot, and we kept playing the demo over and over again. That I thought I should just get you the full game, because then you can actually play through the story. You've gotten really good at this game in the demo. I think that you can actually handle the real game, and he loves it. See, he's been playing Switch more than I have now.
We got off topic.
Sorry.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yes, go ahead.
But I am so glad that they have that game. And
Kirby?
Yep. And they have other games that are easy for kids, but also fun for adults to play.
Yeah.
And play together.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's a good game.
Okay,
but
hang on.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
We're off topic, Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're on a bunny trail somewhere. I didn't even know we were
We've been
on
talking
one.
about Destiny, but you kept bringing up some sort of mobile game.
Oh, Shadowgun Legends?
Yeah.
Shadowgun Legends is a game that I play a lot because it's just in my pocket all the time because it's on my phone.
Oh.
And I like it a lot. It's a first-person shooter.
Your phone's gone, though, now.
Yes. My Razer phone had a little flickering issue on the screen, and I was trying to debate whether it was worth it to me to get it fixed or to just ride it out. And I decided that the phone was new enough that I should totally just get it repaired. So I sent it in for repair, and they are just going to flat out replace it, which was kind of disappointing to me. I mean, I guess that's actually what I figured was going to happen. Is that's the way companies usually work nowadays? Is they'll just send you a brand new one. Just screw it, send them a brand new one. But I wanted my old one because I had all my content on it, and I didn't want to re-download the games or re-download the apps again. But it is what it is. I not that long ago did a backup, so I'll just download that backup and I'll be fine. Plus all my, photos and stuff like that, that's automatically sent up to the cloud, so I'm not worried about that. Anyways, the flickering issue, it wasn't an extreme deal. Like, I was still able to watch videos, still able to play games, still able to do everything and not really notice it. But it was enough of a issue that I thought this is an expensive phone that I bought not that long ago. I should totally just get it repaired.
You should. And you did.
I did.
Anyway.
I hope they send me a Razer 2 by accident. Wouldn't that be amazing?
No, it's the same phone.
I hope by accident they send me a Razer 2.
It's the same phone.
With a Razer laptop. That'd be even better. They accidentally dropped a Razer laptop in there. Okay, go on.
They just drop it in the box.
All right, go on.
Weird. It fits inside a cell phone box.
All right, go on.
Are you done talking about Destiny 2?
Yeah, I'm all done with it. I mean, because
cool. It has new content. It's new to you. You're having fun with it.
And I had a great time. And I wish
my Xbox is still packed away, so I don't have it out.
My
basement is still a
You
shit
should
show.
get it out of the dust.
Okay, Smash Brothers. That came out last week.
Oh yeah, but this is a big content. This is a big issue. We should have talked about this sooner. Sorry. Smash Bros. Schools are shutting down for it. Go on.
No, they're not. But okay. Smash Bros. Dropped.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a big deal because the Wii U Smash Brothers was probably considered a slight disappointment to most Smash Brothers fans.
Okay.
This one was...
Because why? You don't really know? It just was?
People were saying it just didn't play like... The hard part is, and I might be off base, and someone can comment on this and correct me, but there's a lot of people who are completely obsessed with Smash Brothers for 64 and Smash Brothers on GameCube, and those are the only two Smash Brothers that matter. One of those or both.
I guess I would...
So, like, Smash Brawl for Wii...
Yep.
Each game has its own group of fans.
Sure.
So when the Wii U came out, people didn't like it because it didn't play like the old ones.
Okay.
Those Smash people that are obsessed are like frames. A move that takes X frames, they're obsessed with. Like, they count frames of a movement so that they can counter and attack, and they're obsessed It's a highly scrutinized fighter. But the funny part is, it was made to be an enjoyable, like, family fighter.
Right.
But the people who take it to the competition level
Mm-hmm.
are freaking obsessed nuts
Sure.
about it.
Sure.
So the Wii U one, I think, was generally thought of as being it was probably a really good game, but it wasn't good competition game.
Sure. When I played, I don't know if I've ever played the Wii U version. I played the Wii version, and I didn't like it as much as I did the GameCube and the 64 versions, because those ones I loved and I played a lot. And then when I played the Wii version, I thought that it was... What did I think? I thought that the maps were too small. But I suppose that's just a map issue. But go on.
So when they announced Smash, people want Smash. People always want Smash. And they've pretty much released a Smash per console. I mean, even the 3DS got the Smash Brothers.
At this point, you have to. But go on.
It's one of their main line, like, the games.
The same with Mario Kart.
Yep. And Zelda. So when they finally announced it, the internet fucking lit on fire. Which is great. Smash is a fun game. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. But I'm not obsessed with it.
Okay.
Like, I'm not good at fighters, but I like them. It's fun.
It's the same with me. Like I'll probably end up buying this game.
I'll probably buy it on sale.
Right, same. Like I wasn't in line to get this game.
Yeah, no. So when they started finally releasing info about it, I think people just got more and more excited, because guess what? They called it Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Sure.
Then they started saying, we're going to have every single character ever made in Smash will be in this Smash.
Right.
So there's certain characters like Snake from Metal Gear Solid, and a bunch of these random game like Fire Emblem characters, and just characters that maybe have appeared only once are now in this game. It's a freaking giant game.
Yeah.
Plus they're going to come out with more DLC characters. So it's going to be...
Who is the latest character, the random character that they just
from
announced?
like Persona 5, it was...
Right. Something I would have never thought that they should even be in this game.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they spent a lot of time on the fighting mechanics to make sure that it was going to appease all those competition players for esports, because they are now getting big into esports, like Splatoon 2, and all those are now becoming for real.
So
esports.
So Sonic was in the Wii U version.
Yep.
Is he gonna be in this one as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I just wasn't sure.
Which Sonic though? The real live action one from the new movie that released trailer, or the video game one?
Obviously the video game one, but we don't even know what the new guy looks like technically. We know he has hair. We can see that, or we can see how fuzzy he is just from like the glow around his character. But but we can't see him.
We can say this for the movie thing, but there was a Sonic trailer that came out for a movie coming out in November 2019.
A moving poster is what they call it.
Yeah, which was kind of odd. But they've also leaked more pictures.
Really?
Of, like movie posters. So there's one of
Can you
Sonic.
actually see his face?
No. Well, this one today I found, yes. And Chris Pratt they're both lounging on a police car.
Chris Pratt's in it?
There's a lot of... Well, guess who Dr. Robotnik is?
I have no idea.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean...
Now
I'm very interested in this movie all of a sudden.
Yes, exactly. This is like, so I think the people who are big into the competition are actually enjoying the game. People are liking it. The only complaint I heard is that some of the online is a little laggy or having a little stumbling.
Okay.
So, but that's part of the growing process of releasing a giant online game.
I don't know if I'd want to play this online. Maybe I would.
I would just get my ass handed to me, so I wouldn't play online.
I would much prefer just to play local, and it's not because I'm against online games, because I love online games. It's that I know when it comes to fighters, I don't stand a chance in the ring when it comes to online.
This is what I bought ARMS for Switch.
Yeah.
I played online and would get my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a good fighting
player. There's a significant difference when it comes to like an average Joe and somebody else who's good at fighters when it comes to online. Like shooters, sure, I can handle my own in a shooter. But when it comes to fighters, it's just not even close.
Yeah. So I would only play local with friends.
Mm-hmm.
and then make them mad at me, or me get mad. I usually fall off the level. Is how Jesse wins when we play together. he just dodges me until I fall off, and then I lose my 3 stocks.
I thought it would be better because we just played the Wii U not that long ago, and I thought I'd be better than I was, and I did not have any of my skills from the GameCube era left over.
We do have the GameCube controllers. That's the cool part. The fans are so hardcore about Smash and the GameCube controller, which is very comfortable. They re-released the GameCube controllers for for Smash, and the GameCube adapter so that you can play with your GameCube controllers on your Switch. And it plugs into PC and your Wii U, and I think you can play up to 8 or 9 characters. Probably 8, because Wii U could do 9 because of the whole gamepad.
Speaking of controllers, this is still in the line. I'm not going to bunny show too much here on this one. I just bought an adapter that plugs into my Xbox One controller.
Oh, this is the one that we...
Right. And I can use this across all platforms. So it's not only a battery pack. Oh, so this is what it is. For $50, you have a rechargeable battery pack. You have something that can now make your Xbox controller, which is my favorite controller, work across all platforms, whether it be on your PC, your PlayStation, or your Nintendo, and obviously the Xbox. It can work across all fairly quickly by just tapping the back button and either X, A, Y, or B. That's just how you flick in and out of all these different modes. On top of all that, it also has turbo functionality, which I didn't even know was a thing until I got it and I was reading the instructions, and it had you just turn on the turbo mode and you can have if you're trying to beat a boss, whatever, and you need to have a punch B really fast, like back in the day. But I don't know any games nowadays that really need turbo functionality.
Oops, probably shouldn't snap next to the microphone.
That's fine.
Streets of Rage is coming out with a new game, and that would be amazing for Streets of Rage. That side-scrolling beat-em-up.
You're saying for turbo mode?
Yeah. So you'd kick fast or punch fast.
I suppose.
I also saw that device, and you should link it, but it's all over Amazon now.
Yep.
I think the most people were excited for the Elite controller being used, because that is the gold standard of controllers now,
right,
from OEM.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Elite.
And so that's what I use, and I like it a lot. So anyways, that's what I would use in this game.
Sweet.
I would just use my Xbox controller.
Awesome. Then we want to talk about your son being bigger into...
Finally, yes.
Nintendo.
He's now gotten...
So how old is he?
He's 4 years old now. He's finally now able to navigate and run the Nintendo Switch with ease. Before, I would always put him into a game or whatever, and he liked navigating a phone that I had an old phone that I had given him. He liked navigating that a lot more. He would play Hungry Shark and all the different stuff on his phone. But he's just gotten a lot better at technology, and he's gotten better into games. And with me buying him Kirby, he now...
This is Kirby for Switch.
Right. He's able to jump in and out. He doesn't just play Kirby. He'll start out on Kirby, but then also the next thing he'll be playing is Sonic or Link. Not Link. The Destiny Warriors game. What's that called?
Oh my goodness!
But it's that one. It's the Destiny Warriors, Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, there we go. He likes Hyrule Warriors quite a bit as well. So he flicks in and out of all these games. Oh, he plays ARMS as well. He likes ARMS a lot. And it's
because he does the full motion control, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves the full motion control. He loves punching the people with it. But anyways, I love the fact that all of a sudden he's big into the Nintendo Switch, because now I have a buddy that's very soon going to be able to play with me on par when it comes, because I just want him to play next to me and we'll play Halo or we'll play Destiny or something like that. I'm ready for that to happen. And he hasn't completely grasped the 2 joysticks, which is the hang up when it comes to doing something like that. But he's really good with 1 joystick. So when it comes to platformers or anything like that, he's really good at that. So I don't. So I guess that's all I was going to really kind of say about that. Is my little buddy is now able to play video games with me, and I'm kind of excited about it.
I will say that Kirby has historically, and this game continues to it puts in, I wouldn't call them handicaps because they're kind of features of the game, but it really allows a younger person or an inexperienced player to have assistance,
Yes.
where they're not dying all the time and feeling like the game sucks.
Right.
But it's also fun enough for an adult to play or a gamer. One of the good things about Kirby is, yeah, you can beat it and it's not a long game. But that's not the point. The point is to beat it, then go back and play it, because there's a lot more crap to unlock. And so the initial reviews, or I shouldn't say like real reviews, but people's reviews, impressions were, this game's too easy, it's too short. Well, the whole point of a Kirby game is to go back and replay it.
Okay.
And they weren't doing that. They want to beat it, move on. Well, it's like, okay, we get it, but you should research your game before you buy it. You shouldn't just be... And if you do keep just buying games without knowing about them, then you need to deal with the consequences of buying a game without knowing about it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very grateful for Kirby, because I think it is both Sonic and Kirby, but definitively it has been Kirby that has pushed Easton into becoming more interested in like the Nintendo Switch. Because Kirby, Sonic has been easy for him, or he really enjoys Sonic quite a bit.
The forces.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kirby has made it so fun for him he runs around and he like friends other people in the game, and then those little buddies help him defeat the enemies. So maybe he isn't very good, but now he's got 4 little buddies that are going to run around with him, or 3 little buddies that'll run around with him and help him destroy.
Suck people up and stuff?
He loves sucking people up and spitting them out and all this different stuff. It's a very comical, fun game that it got him sucked in enough that it got him good at navigating the Switch. So now I just hand him the Switch while we're on a trip or whatever, going to daycare, and he just plays like crazy back there, or while we're at home. I love it, the fact that he likes it as much as I do.
That's good. It's fun to have something in common with, something that you can pass down to, like I wish my daughter, when she's slightly older, can enjoy games with me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or I'll have to force her. I don't know.
You can't leave this room until you love pinball. Have a nice day.
What a mean dad. The other thing I want to talk about is finding video games as Christmas gifts. I don't know if I should talk about this before or after Christmas, because I got a gift for Nick, my brother-in-law. But what happened was, GameStop had a sale on games. It was like buy 2 used, get 1 free.
Sure.
Well, when you do that, I almost feel like you have to buy something, because you're getting 3 games
for
the price of 2.
Sure.
Their used game selection isn't bad. It's not poorly priced. It's pretty decent. And when you add that extra one in free, which obviously is the cheapest of the 3, it's still not a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was, I started, last year I bought a bunch of Sega Genesis and 64 games to kind of round up my tiny collection of what I had to have.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, Michael Jackson Moonwalker. I had to have that Genesis game. I remember playing it when I was little. It's a freaking awesome game. I got it.
Sure.
I'm excited. So what I ended up doing was, I was trying to look at some games, and I remembered we had been talking about Castlevania Lord of Shadows.
Okay.
They came out on 360 and PS3.
Uh-huh.
I remember playing one, and I remember them being from the...
Did you ever play it before?
Yes, on PlayStation 3 once. I remember being really good, and Hideo Kojima from Metal Gear helped the first one.
Interesting.
I looked them up quick, that they are compatible with Xbox One, so I bought Lord of Shadows 1 and Lord of Shadows 2.
Awesome.
I am so pumped to play them.
Very cool. Now you definitely need to get it out of the basement.
Yeah, shut up. I also have a 360 I could play it on, I guess. So I bought that for myself, and my wife wrapped that up for me. I also bought Sega Rally Revo, which is a super fun rally game. I had it for PlayStation 3, and I had the whole seat shifting car wheel setup, but all that is gone now. And I remember I really like that game because of the effects of the ground being torn up every lap.
Mm-hmm.
Get better and better, not better, but your grooves from tires make it worse and worse. it's Chris. So the track degradation of like gets even better, and it has good graphics. It has cool cars. It's licensed. It's a really fun game.
That's actually probably the best way to maybe even find games is to go to your local used game place, whether it be GameStop where you can buy new and used, or just like a retro place that you maybe have nearby. But that's where you get the most bang for your buck, and it's something that people aren't already buying for themselves, because if it's a new game, they already probably got it in mind. They've already bought it for themselves or whatever. But plus, it's also $60. You know what I mean? Whereas a used game that's maybe older still carries all this nostalgia and memory, and it's going to be a great gift, but for way cheaper. That's a good idea.
I don't mind. The only thing I don't like about buying from GameStop used is you don't know if you're going to get the case or not, which isn't the biggest deal. You can always get a new case,
I guess. But I think for most of the time, I think that you're going to get the case.
No, I did not get the original case for either Lord of Shadows.
Huh.
I got a generic case for the first one, and I got just sleeves for the second.
That stinks.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed about that.
Okay. I guess I very rarely have ever gotten generic, not sleeves, but cases. But I feel the same way. When you get a generic case, it stinks.
Because it's the same price as what it would have been with the case.
Correct.
That's what bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
I also forgot I got another game for Switch.
What'd you get?
So a year or so ago, no longer than that, there was a game from the UK called Aquamoto Utopia.
Mm-hmm.
It was this jet skiing game. It was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Wave Race 64. I purchased it used because of some of the reviews were saying it wasn't all that great, and it's its own kind of feel.
How much was it?
I got it for $20.
Okay.
And it came in the case. It came with the original game. It looks brand new.
So it wasn't even DLC. I was thinking that you got this like not DLC, but electronically.
I don't know why this game is not rated very good.
Really? So it's disappointing.
The graphics are really good, but the controls are garbage.
Oh.
How
How about the physics?
They're okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty disappointed. I'm disappointed enough where I would return it. $20 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And this does not feel like a $20 game.
Interesting.
That's sad.
Well, I mean, if it's disappointing to the point where you're not even going to play it, then you totally should return it. Because, I mean, if you can, are you able to?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I should look into that.
Because all it's going to do is sit on the shelf now. You're never going to play it again.
Yeah. I thought maybe in my head I'm like, oh, these reviews are bad. Maybe $20. $20 isn't a big deal.
No, sure.
But I made it through one race. I'm just going, oh, the controls are real clunky. Like, jet skiing is its own feel, right? Because you have to be moving forward to be actually turning. Like, you can't just turn without moving forward.
Okay,
so
sure.
there's some water effect,
Mm-hmm.
like physics.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, I'm pretty sure you're on sit-down jet skis, and they won't turn well, which they should turn better than the stand-ups. So then you turn, but you pretty much can't make a turn in the game without holding the super handbrake button to you really lean in and get like almost like a 90-degree cut. But you have to do that for pretty much every single turn. And then a lot of the tracks, they have these buoy markers, and you have to go on the one side. So you're cutting back and forth like switchbacks to the buoys.
Sure.
And when these waves come, you get thrown up in the air and you can't do anything. And so you miss a bunch of them. And all of a sudden you're penalized like crazy. And so it's not even fun. And that was the first level I replayed it, I beat it, but it's like, is this even worth playing? I'm not sure, man.
All right.
But they made a snowmobile version too.
What was the name of this game?
It's Aquamoto Utopia.
What's the snowmobile game called?
I don't remember.
Snowmoto?
Something like that. Utopia, yeah. I almost bought both because there was a snowmobile game on PlayStation Man, I'm forgetting the name of that one too, but that was super fun.
Yeah, they have an arcade one as well. That's pretty fun.
But that was disappointing. But what I did was Yoku's Island Express was like $5 for PS4, so I bought that for Nick for his stocking.
Nice.
I don't think he'll like it because he doesn't like anything I buy him.
Makes sense.
Like, I got him Tomb Raider for PS4. Hasn't been open.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep buying him games that I want to play.
Like the new one?
Well, not the new one, but the last one.
Well, yeah, but okay, but at the time it was new, probably. Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy him games that I want to play, so that I go to his house.
You could just play it. That's a smart move. I like that move.
It's like buy my wife a bowling ball or whatever.
Right.
I
bought you a pinball machine.
I did do that. Oops. All right, we've been droning on for a while.
Yeah, we probably should wrap it up.
We actually have content for like another show.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll talk more about the new Sonic movie. One Up has a new.
Well, they haven't officially released it, but there's rumors rolling around about Mortal
Plus
Kombat.
There's pictures of it.
Yep.
A Mortal Kombat arcade machine might be coming out, and that'll be fun. What was the other thing we wanted to talk about?
Just Cause was causing
Just Cause is making people throw up. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, we have a lot more.
And
we can
maybe
talk
we'll
about
get Chris back on,
yeah,
so he can ramble on about System 11s.
All right, everybody. That is it. If you want to see anything that we talked about today, just go and check out our Facebook page at flippinandmashing.com. Or not. Flippin' and Mashing. Just search for it on Facebook. You'll find us, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.